So, hello everybody. It's almost Christmas and this is the time of year when people start sending out money vouchers for Amazon for things that you did over the year. And I got one too. Now, I usually do not buy games through Amazon simply because they are quite expensive compared to my friendly online game store. But since I had a £25 voucher, which is probably around $40, I decided, what am I going to get for this? And I decided to look for Pandemic Legacy. Now, this Pandemic Legacy is the German version. It's also, it was nominated for the 2016 award for Kennerspiel des Jahres, whatever that is. It probably means hobby game rather than just game. Because for some reason, Amazon UK sells the German version at a really low price compared to buying the German version of Amazon.de. And it's also less expensive than the English version, obviously, because people in Britain usually do not have enough German to play this game or to play any other game in German. So I got this for £44. I had a voucher for £25, so that was pretty much a no-brainer. Now, this is the Legacy Season 1. I really like the image on the front. And I'm just going to do a brief unboxing. And of course, it's a Legacy game, so loads of things in this game I can't show you because obviously you open them, if you like, you unbox them as you go along, and this one is very tightly packed. But I'm not complaining, because obviously as a Legacy game, a lot of content is hidden from view, and you will only discover it as you go along. Now, I don't know anything about the first season, except that it comes in various boxes of different colors, but apparently the content is always the same. I like this one. It's apparently the blue box. And let's see what's inside. Top secret. And you can see again the German flag so that people know that this is going to be the German version. So I'm not going to open this. Pandemic Legacy Season 1. Zunächst einmal ein Dankeschön dafür, dass du Pandemic, I hate it when they use do, erworben hast. Wir hoffen, dass Sie beim Spielen genauso viel Freude haben werden wie unser Team bei der Entwicklung des Spiels. Um Ihr Spielerlebnis noch weiter zu verbessern, haben wir im Folgenden noch ein paar Zusatzinformationen. Okay, Top Secret Dossiers and Packages. Before you start playing, you should open up the Top Secret Dossiers. But do not open any of the flaps and do not open any of the little parcels. Okay, there's a sticker called Open Package 8 on the sticker page, and you're supposed to put this on the flap of package 8. When you open Legacy cards, ensure that you're following the numbering in the lower corner, and they should be opened in numerical order. Okay, well, great. So that sounds fabulous. I'm looking forward to this already. Here we've got the rule book. Okay, it has a list of contents, an overview. It's going to be fun actually playing this and then doing videos in English, because obviously I will have to be translating this as I go along. So, but we'll survive. Okay, now the map looks a lot like Pandemic Vanilla. Yeah. it's short and sweet, 9, 11, 15 pages. And also a calendar, so 16 pages, but there is a lot of empty space in here. So actually, you know, it's... okay, I get it. So here you also have to add rule stickers. There are different rules. They're also on stickers and you just put them in here. I have to say, I'm beginning to find this a lot more interesting than or a lot more fascinating than I thought it would. Because I was actually against legacy games, because even just the idea of having to destroy content or altering it beyond being able to revert back to the beginning was something that I really don't like, because I do play games over and over and over. I mean, I just got Pandemic Vanilla last week and I've already played it 5 times. I've also played Descent, and I'm also going to do another thing, another Mansions of Madness 2nd edition today and tomorrow. You know, and you can always replay them, but once you start altering components, you can't. And also the idea of tearing apart cards, you kind of go, well, these are playing cards, why would you do this? Because I was brought up, you know, and I was always told always to use care, you know, when I use books, when I use games, you know, not to destroy them, not to especially bend cards, because when you play, let's say, Rome or Canasta, you don't want to have marked cards, because otherwise you know what's going on. So I was always taught to be really, really careful. And I watched a playthrough of Seafall yesterday on Hit Points Gaming, and I came to the end of the prologue. And I'm not going to give away what happens, but everybody was like, we're supposed to do what? And I was like, you can't be serious, you know, and they did it, but you could see in their reactions and also how they were doing this, how difficult it was. And, you know, but I suppose, as somebody said, a legacy game is unlike other games in that usually when you play a game, unlike life, where you make a decision and it has consequences that are usually not revertible, in a game you can reset, you can close the session, you can start over. In a legacy game, that's more like real life. You cannot start over, usually, because you can't revert. Okay, so that's the stickers. Here we've got the cards with the characters inside. I think we can look at those though. I think that's fine. So we've got the Sanitäter, so that's the medic. Let's see if I can zoom in a little. Yeah, so he's like the vanilla medic character in that when he is on a field, he can, and he does the heal step, he can remove all cubes of one color rather than just only one. And once he's on a field, actively moving to it, or just sitting in a field, on a field with cubes of belonging to an illness that has been healed already, they vanish automatically and he doesn't even have to use an action. Here we've got the logistician. As an action, he can move the pawn of another player as if it was his own. And as another action, he can take any pawn on the map and move it to another city with another pawn in it. Scientist. Well, she has the same ability as in the vanilla game. She only needs 4 cards of one color to heal. An illness. Then we have the researcher. Okay, now that's interesting, because the German isn't really clear. Du darfst beim Teilen von Wissen eine beliebige Stadtkarte weitergeben. Diese muss nicht mit deiner Stadt übereinstimmen. Das gilt auch, wenn ein Mitspieler die Aktion ausführt. That's different, because this sounds like you are in a city and you have a city card, and that's not part of this city, you give it to somebody else, and that someone else can also give you cards, can give cards of any city to anyone else, rather than in English, in the original version, it reads, you can give a card to anyone in your location, regardless of whether this is the location card, and they can take any card from you. But this reads like, when you share knowledge, you may hand over any city card, and the same is true when another pawn carries out the same action. Now, when another pawn carries out the same action, it means that they can give a card to anyone rather than take a card from you. So that's going to be interesting, because that's this I don't know what the English card is like, but the German is very ambiguous, especially if you've played vanilla. So here we've got the generalist. She's allowed to do 5 actions per round, and that's all of them. So we have 5 characters. Here we've got the legacy deck. It says, stop. Do not draw from this deck. Don't reveal them, don't look at them, or touch them in any way until you are told to do so. Don't touch them in any way until you're told to do so. Draw this card and read its reverse side before setting up the first game. Okay, I think we can do this. This is kind of loose. Here we've got the, we know these are the cards for the infections. The back is the same, the green biohazard image. And here we have, and I think we're allowed to open these. Let's see. Okay, so here we've got the actions you can take. In different colors, for each pawn. Okay. Then we've got the normal city cards, Bogota, Johannesburg, Khartoum, Kinshasa, Lagos, Lima, Los Angeles, Mexico-Stadt, Miami, Santiago, Sao Paulo, Algiers, Baghdad. So the normal places, I don't think that there's any difference. Chicago, Essen, London, Madrid, Milan, New York, Paris, San Francisco, St. Petersburg, Montreal, Washington, Bangkok, Peking, Ho Chi Minh Stadt, Hong Kong, Jakarta, Manila, Osaka, Seoul, Shanghai, Sydney, Taipei, Tokyo. Except for the spelling, they're identical. Then we've got the epidemic cards. So there is 5 of them. And then we've got the special cards, and we've got civilist cards. Civilian cards. Fernbehandlung. Entferne 2 beliebige Würfel vom Spielplan. Der Spieler, der am Zug ist, kann im aktuellen Zug 2 zusätzliche Aktionen ausführen. Geliehene Zeit. Flexibles Hilfspaket. Freiflug. Eine ruhige Nacht. Zähe Bevölkerung, Resilient Population, Prognosis, State Subsidies, Okay, so there are some in here that are not part of vanilla, and then there are some in there that are. Civilians, what do they do? You have no abilities, special abilities, or relationships. If you receive a scar, discard all your cards. Move your pawn to a research center and finish the next, the remaining actions. Okay, so that's great. I mean, yeah, they're essentially, I don't know why you would want a civilian, maybe to gather more cards, I don't know. So that's interesting. They don't exist in vanilla either. I'm just gonna put this in here. Actually, putting stuff in here is difficult. How come? They fit in nicely earlier. Yeah, those creases are stupid. Okay. So first up is I'm going to sleeve all those cards. And then we've got the city infection cards. I assume that they are exactly like the vanilla version. Bogota, Buenos Aires, Johannesburg, Khartoum, Kinshasa, Lagos, Lima, Los Angeles, Mexico Stadt, Miami, oops, Santiago, yep, and Sao Paulo, Algier, Baghdad, Cairo, Delhi, Istanbul, Karachi, Calcutta, Moscow, and Mumbai, Riyadh, Tehran, Atlanta, Chicago, Essen, London, Madrid, Mailand, New York, Paris, San Francisco, St. Petersburg, Montreal und Washington. Und dann haben wir noch Asien. We've got Asia, Bangkok, Peking, Ho Chi Minh Stadt, Hong Kong, Jakarta, Manila, Osaka, Seoul, Shanghai, Sydney, Taipei, Tokyo. So essentially, now I've got a second set of vanilla, because I've got all the cards that I would need to play vanilla, and then some. So I guess you could, unless you alter the map totally, you might even be able to retain it and play and give it away as a version of vanilla. That's an idea. Okay, now, so let's see. We've got meeples. Okay, so these are the illness markers. We know those from vanilla as well. Let's just take them out. Here we are. So for illnesses, purple special sign, biohazard, and the outbreaks. So that's exactly like that as well. That's good. So in case I lose any from the base game, once I've finished my legacy, I can double up. Oops. That's always good. I like contingencies. 6 research centers. Only 4 pawns, although we have 5 cards. So it means you can probably only play with 4. Here we've got the little cubes in 4 colors. So excellent. That's lovely. Shouldn't I have 5 pawns? If I've got 5 rolls, am I missing a pawn? Let's see. Am I missing a pawn? What does the rules say? What do the rules say about this? 4 pawns, okay. So you can never play with more than 4. And now let's look at the map. Okay, that looks, I don't know if this is even bigger than the original. So here we've got, I'm gonna try and see if I can zoom out, but probably not enough. So it's I believe wider than the original. So here you've got the tasks, probably objectives in English, different panic levels, outbreaks. Yeah, I have to say that even my vanilla doesn't really lie flat. I don't know what's wrong with them. Here you can name the virus. That's nice. I'm gonna name it Fred. Down here again, I don't know if you can see it, I'm just going to move it. What I really like again is you have a list of what you need to do on each turn. Here you've got the draw deck for the player cards, and here you've got the infection deck, and here you have the progress of the infections, and you've got the maps. So in addition to the normal connections, you also see these ones here. I don't know what these lines denote. And well, I mean, I know that they seem to correspond to the continents. So Europe, Africa, Asia, and also somebody noted, and I don't know if I would have noticed that on this map you have a connection between down here Santiago and Buenos Aires. In the vanilla version there isn't one, so that's different. But other than that, it looks a lot like it, only you have these little fields here, and I suppose that at some point you'll start stickering them here, and you've got a month calendar. And now these are the legacy packages. I'm just going to take it out, and I'm not going to do anything with it. They contain stuff that will alter the board in some shape or form. Okay, now that's the unboxing of Pandemic Legacy Season 1, the German edition. I'm really looking forward to playing this, and I'm really looking forward to taking you on this journey. And I wish you all a happy Christmas, and talk to you soon on this channel. Bye bye.